Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Road to Study. So here I am with the one short video from the chapter Mineral Resources. Okay, you all know that in examination 10 marks question come from mineral resources, conventional and non-conventional source of energy. That is, these three chapters are intermixed and then a 10 marker and then the question is prepared. That consists of 10 marks, isn't it? But it's very difficult to involve all these three chapters in one video. So one by one I'll do the video. Okay. So today, that is, we will cover mineral resources. In the upcoming videos, we will cover conventional and non-conventional sources of energy. Okay. So without wasting time, let's get started. And one more thing, in this video, that is in one short video, I'll not cover the chapter completely. Rather, I will only pick up those parts which are very important. Okay. Because if you will cover the whole chapter, then it would be very lengthy. Okay. So I'll cover those parts, those portions which are very important from the examination point of view. Okay. So let's get started. Now first of all, as the name of the chapter is mineral resources, you all should know what are minerals. You all know that also, isn't it? That is, they are organic or inorganic substances. They may be organic or they may be inorganic. And where they are found? They are found on Earth's crust, isn't it? So they are just, see, according to the book, minerals are natural substances. Yes, they are natural because we are obtaining it from the Earth's crust. Okay. And we are not manufacturing it in the industries or something like that, isn't it? So they are available to us from the earth. So they are natural substances of organic or inorganic origin with definite physical and chemical properties. Yes, each mineral has its particular physical and particular chemical properties. So by seeing these physical and chemical properties, we say them as either metals or non-metals, or we assign particular names to those minerals, isn't it? Now, we find it in the Earth's crust, isn't it? So to take out this metal, we do mining, isn't it? Now, when we take out this metal, that is these ores, they are not in pure form. So they need to be processed by some metallurgical processes and all, by using some chemicals and all, and then we get the final pure metal or non-metal, isn't it? So it's a long process to get a particular metal. Now, based on as I said, they have definite physical and chemical properties. Now, based on it too, two types of metals are seen. One is the metallic mineral, and the second one is the non-metallic mineral. Now, what is metallic minerals? Minerals from which metals are obtained. That is, by refining and purification of that particular mineral, we get a metal as the final product. Okay. So, such minerals are metallic minerals. Whereas, the minerals which give us non-metals are known as non-metallic minerals. Now, examples of metallic minerals are iron, copper, gold, etc. And examples of non-metallic minerals, fossil fuels, isn't it? Like petrol, petroleum, diesel, etc. are fossil fuels, and mica. Okay. Now, graphite is also a non-metal. So, these were the brief intro. This was a brief intro of minerals. Now, let's proceed. See, in this chapter, we will read 4 types of minerals. Okay. There are iron, manganese, copper and bauxite, and all of them are metallic minerals. Okay. Now, in metallic minerals also there are classification like ferrous and non-ferrous. Okay. Anyway, we will not go deep into that. And we will come to the first mineral, that is iron ore. Okay. Now you know iron ore is the matter is the mineral that we get when we do mining. Okay, when we excavate and when we mine, we get the iron ore. Now that iron ore is processed and refined to get, actually purified to get the iron that we use. Okay, now the iron that we use also is not pure iron, because pure iron does not have as that much tensile strength as we are using in our in various purposes. Okay, so they are mixed with some alloys and all to make it stronger. Anyway, so first we will read about iron ore. Now you know, India is the largest producer of iron in the Asian continent. Okay, talking about Asia, in Asia, India is the largest producer of iron ore and is one of the largest iron producing countries in the world. It not only has large iron deposits, but it also produces large amount of iron, okay, in the whole world. Now see, in India, the iron deposits can be easily seen in hilly areas. Okay, in those areas, high amounts of iron deposits are there. Now see, there are three varieties of iron. Okay, there are three varieties of iron based on their quality, based on the content in them. There are three. The iron is classified into three varieties. Okay, based on the quality and all. The first one is hematite, then magnetite, and the third one is limonite. First one is hematite, magnetite, and third is limonite. Now see, hematite iron is called red ore. Okay, why it's called red ore? Because it's reddish in color. So hematite is known as red ore. Now it contains 60 to 70% of iron. Okay, I said that these are classification of iron ores. Okay, these are classification of iron ores, not iron, because from these iron ores then iron is extracted. Okay, so these iron ores are classified on the amount of iron content in them. First one is hematite. It's also called red ore because it's reddish in color and it has 60 to 70% of iron content. मतलब कि इसके अंदर 60 to 70% जो पूरा मास होता है उसका 60 to 70% iron hematite में रहता है. Okay, and the rest are some other minerals and all. Okay, now they are mainly found in Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka and Maharashtra. These are the places where hematite ore are normally or mostly found. Next one is magnetite. Okay, as the name suggests, magnetite, these have some magnetic properties too. And one more thing, it's the best iron ore. Okay, it's the best iron ore among the three. Now, it has 70% of iron content. Okay, magnetite ore has 70% of iron content and it's also known as the black ore. Okay, so it's the hematite red ore, magnetite black ore, and as I said, it has magnetic property and therefore its name is magnetite. Now it's found in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. It's found in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Now let's move on. The third one is limonite. Okay, limonite is yellow or light brown in color, you can say. It's yellow or light brown in color and it has only 35 to 50% iron content in it. So among these three, limonite has the lowest iron content, that is 35 to 50% of iron content. Okay, now you know it occurs in the group of the Raniganj coalfields. Okay, now coalfields you have not learned till now. We will discuss about them in the upcoming chapter, that is the conventional source of energy. So it's a coalfield area where when we mine we get coal. Okay, in that areas mainly limonite iron ore are also found. Okay, Understood? Now apart from that, it's also found in Garhwal in Uttarakhand and Mirzapur district of Uttar Pradesh and Kangra Valley in Himachal Pradesh. Okay. So these were about the three varieties of iron ore. Now see, you know that iron is used in our daily life as well as industries and many other purposes. So its purposes, its use to human beings are immense. So let's see what are the uses of iron ore. First of all, the majority of iron ore, that is about 90% of iron ore, is used to make steel. Okay, steel. You know, stainless steel and steel are used in our for our domestic purpose also, isn't it? So it's a very important thing that we use. And see, as I said earlier, raw iron, that is a pure form of iron, is not strong as we want it to be. So therefore it's alloyed with some other minerals, some other metals to make it strong, so that can be used for construction purposes, railway purposes, industrial purposes and many more. Next is powdered iron. Okay, powdered iron is used in the manufacturing of metallurgy products. Okay, that is, metallurgy means it's a process in which refining of impure metals is done. Okay, so in those metallurgy purposes, powdered iron is used, and furthermore in the production of magnets and high frequency cores, auto parts and catalysts. Okay, next, radioactive iron. Okay, now this is used for the tracing of elements mainly in the medical sector. Okay, radioactive iron, which contains about 59% of iron, is mainly used for tracing elements in medical fields. Next, iron blue. Okay, iron blue, they are mainly used in dyes, paints, printing inks and for such purposes, that is, they impart color. Okay, next is black iron oxide. What is black iron oxide? And it is used as pigment in polishing compounds, metallurgy, medicine and magnetic inks. Okay, now distribution. See, knowing the distribution of each mineral is important, but that doesn't mean that you have to memorize the whole places or every places where it's found. It's okay even if you remember just 3 to 4 places where these minerals are found. So in Chhattisgarh, if we talk, then the important areas are Baladila in Dantewada district and Durg district. Okay, now Jharkhand. In Jharkhand, a large deposit of iron ore has been found at Chiria in Singbang district of Jharkhand. Okay, so there are many places given. You can remember 3 to 4 places. So here we cover the first mineral, that is iron ore. Okay, now see, the main iron ore exporting ports in India are, the two main iron ore exporting ports in India are Visakhapatnam and Mormugao. Okay, Visakhapatnam and Mormugao. So these were the two iron ore exporting ports in India. So here we complete the first mineral, that is iron. Now let's move on to the second one, that is manganese. Okay, now it's a black, hard and iron-like mineral. Okay, it appears like iron and it's black and hard. Okay, so it's a black, hard and iron-like mineral or iron-like metal, and it occurs as natural oxide. That is, when we find it in its ore form, then it occurs as magnesium oxide. That is in its oxide form. Okay. Next, it's important for smelting of iron ore and also used for manufacturing ferroalloys. Okay. Now we will move on to the uses of manganese. What are the use of manganese, or in which places this manganese is used? See, you know that steel is made from iron. Now to make this steel tough, that is to make this steel strong, manganese is used. Okay. and not only strong, also resistant to rusting. That is, as we add manganese to it, so the rusting of steel is prevented. Okay. Next, therefore manganese is a very important raw material in the iron and steel industry because they are alloyed with them to make it stronger and resistant to rusting. Now, it's also used in the manufacturing of black enamel and in chemical industries for various other purposes. Next, as I said earlier, now you have seen one example in which way manganese is used as an alloy. There are various other ways in which manganese is used to make alloys. Okay, so the next point is they are used for manufacturing a number of alloys. And next one is dry cell batteries. You all have seen the dry cell batteries, that is a small batteries that we use in our clocks and all, isn't it? That is a dry cell battery. Inside that too, manganese is used. Okay, when you will go to higher class and if you study science, then you can know how they are used. Okay. Next, it's also used for the manufacturing of vital enzyme for the metabolism of fats and proteins. Now, it was the fifth use. The next one is, in bio, I think you all have read about the nutrients or minerals used by the plant. So there also you will see that manganese is an important mineral for plant as it's very important for their growth, and it is involved in reduction of nitrates in green plants and algae when distributed in the correct amount. Okay, so if manganese is distributed in the correct amount in the plant, then it also helps them to reduce the nitrates. Okay, next, it is also used as a trace element in higher animals. Okay, so these were all about the uses of manganese. Now distribution. See, the manganese that is found in India is of very good quality and therefore it is exported to various countries. Okay, like USA, Japan, UK, France and other countries are the buyers of manganese of India. Now there are various places in India where manganese ore are found, like in Andhra Pradesh, in Visakhapatnam, Srikakulam and Vijayanagaram. In Telangana, it is Adilabad, and in Goa, Sangam. So there are many places. You can just remember 3 to 4 from them. Okay, in Odisha, Keonjhar, Mayurbhanj, Talcher, Sundargarh, Bonai and Koraput. So these are the places in Odisha where manganese are found, and there are many places in India where manganese are found. So you have to just remember 3 to 4 places. Okay. So here we finish the second mineral, that is manganese. Now the third one is copper. Okay. You all know copper is used extensively for electrical purposes. Why? Because it's a good conductor of electricity, isn't it? And furthermore, it's malleable and ductile. That is, it can be beaten into sheets easily and can also be drawn into wires easily, isn't it? So for all these usages of copper, they are used efficiently in the electrical wires. They are used as electrical wires and other things. Okay, so let's see what are its uses. See, as I said earlier, it's a good conductor of electricity, and next, it is also used in automobiles and defense industries. Okay, they are also used in the manufacture of automobiles. Okay, next, yes, they are also alloyed with iron. Okay, they are also alloyed with iron and nickel to make stainless steel. You all know we use stainless steel for cooking and other purposes. So they are used. So this copper is alloyed with iron and nickel to form the stainless steel. And it's alloyed with zinc. Okay, when copper is alloyed with zinc, then we get brass, and when it is alloyed with tin, okay, we get bronze. Okay. Next is also used in building construction for roofing and plumbing, and Its last, it is used in the shipbuilding industry. So these were the uses of copper. Now where they are found? They are found in Madhya Pradesh. In Madhya Pradesh, they are found in Balghat, Betul, Jabalpur, and in Rajasthan in the Khetri belt of Jhunjhunu and in Dariba in Alwar district. Okay, in Maharashtra, they are found in Chandrapur and other places, and in Andhra Pradesh, they are found in Guntur, Kurnool and Prakasham. Okay, so these are the places where copper is found. So here we complete the third mineral too. Next we will go on to the fourth mineral, that is bauxite. Now bauxite is an oxide of aluminium. Okay, when we get aluminium from under the earth's surface, we get it as bauxite. That is, bauxite is a oxide of aluminium, so we can extract aluminium from bauxite. Okay, that is, aluminium ore is called as bauxite. Okay, understood? Now, what are the main uses of bauxite? As it's a source of aluminium, so it's, you know that aluminium is lightweight, strong. It's lightweight, but still it has high tensile strength and is a rust resistant material. That is, rusting does not occur on it easily. Okay, so it's used for various purposes, like it's used in aircraft, automobiles, rail wagons, coaches, shipping industry and etc. Now a question can come. Why aluminium is used in aircrafts or in making automobiles? Why? Because it's lightweight. Okay, so the answer is, first it's lightweight, and second it is resistant to rusting, and third, okay, first it would be lightweight due to its lightweight, second it's very strong, that is high tensile strength, and third one, it is resistant to rusting. Understood? Now what's the next one? Yes, aluminium is also used, or bauxite is also used in the electrical appliances. Okay, electrical equipment industry and for transmitting electricity, that is in electrical wires. Electrical wires also comes, that is, aluminium is also used as electrical wires. Okay, that is, they are good conductors of electricity, because it's a good conductor of electricity. Now furthermore, pure aluminium. Okay, pure aluminium is also used for making headlight reflectors and mirrors. Understood? So here we come to the end of this chapter. Okay, one more thing we have to know about the distribution. Where it's found. What's the in which places of India bauxite is found, or or aluminium ore is found. There are many places, like in Odisha it's found in Kalahandi and Sambalpur. Then in Gujarat it's found in Jamnagar, Surat, etc. Madhya Pradesh in Jabalpur, Balghat, etc. And in Chhattisgarh, Durg, Bilaspur, etc. Okay, now you know the largest integrated aluminium plant. Okay, the largest integrated aluminium plant is in India is at Renukut, and it's in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so where is the largest integrated aluminium plant found in India? At Renukut in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, it gets its supply from the Amarkantak Plateau and Ranchi. Now from where this integrated plant gets its supply of bauxite? From the Amarkantak Plateau and Ranchi. Okay, in these plateau regions, bauxite are found in large amounts. Okay, so here we come to the end of this chapter, that is mineral resources. In the next video, I'll be with the one-shot video of conventional source of energy. Okay, bye-bye, and study well and keep preparing.